paladin or warrior, where you knew that that was going to be the definitive class that they were playing. But then it was sort of easy to target against that class, especially if it was a deck that that team was particularly good with. So here it does look like we are going to have a Jade Druid and a mid-range style hunter because, well, that's the only hunter that's been around for quite a while.
Yeah, it's the only... It's the main hunter you think about when you think hunter. Sometimes secret hunters appear, sometimes there's the weird little face hunter build, but no, more often than not, this is the way you go. Correctly called as well, it is a Jade Druid, so maybe Netherlands did get outmined games.
I don't know, we'll have to see. Jade Druid, like I've been saying for the last several matches when it's been up against aggressive decks, has a good amount of interaction in the early game, and we've seen it thrive, and we've seen it, fall on its face. So, this will have to be one of the two. Yes, we'll see which one.
Yeah. Now, decent-ish start for Liam Main. They like to have Ali Armor Kit. Ali Armor Kit? Hang on a second, that's not right. Ali Cat. Ali Armor Kitten is where he's going with that. And they like to have the Ali Cat into something like a Direwolf Alpha or a Scavenging Hyena.
Oh my god, that would have to be at least a 2-1. Throw some armor onto that cat. Don't give it to Ali Cat, give it to Cute Cat. Cute Cat.
Tabby Cat.
Cute Cat takes all the armor.
Yeah. Fiery Bat's gonna have to do. I don't know where I was going with that name.
Cat Lento and Ellie Armor Cat.
There you go,
God.
Blizzard. Next expansion.
Do with it what you will. When Kalento wins the World Championships this year, as will happen, Cat Lento can be a card.
Yeah.
Like Fiery Bat.
Okay, so the Fiery Bat goes down on turn 1. Wild Growth for Mitsuhide. It's kind of slow. He's going to be taking some damage from this Fiery Bat next turn, and Brazil have the chance to play the Crackling Razormaw on it if they want to.
That's something that you definitely don't want to give to the Hunter, because Hunter is a class that doesn't do anything incredibly special, but they need to curve out 1 through 6. And if they do, and they get their Hunter synergy in there with Crackling Razormaw, Houndmaster, Direwolf Alpha, which can allow the early minions to trade up quite well, then it spirals out of control, and it can be very, very difficult to stop the commanding board presence from the Hunter. And in a lot of cases, Hunter struggles with that 1 through 6 curve. This isn't looking like it's going to be one of the cases. Right. The Hunter has a very, very nice start here, and the Druid is going to need swipe, taunt minions, health gain, any number of things to combat this Hunter board.
I wouldn't even be surprised here if Leo Main decided to play the coin this turn. Just played Alley Cat, coined out Direwolf Alpha, maybe coined out Crackling Razormaw. Just puts as much stuff on the board as possible. He does need to consider the fact that Swipe is playable next turn, I guess.
I think Crackling Razormaw makes a lot of sense here, because you can get something like +3 health or Divine Shield onto this, or even just +3 attack and get in. And then Alley Cat, you can save to sort of slot in whenever it makes the most sense. I think you're going to want to coin Savannah Highmane in this game, so the coin likely will be held for quite a while. Direwolf Alpha accomplishes pretty much the same goal, pushes 1 additional damage, gets a body on the board, and now you can save Crackling Razormaw for, maybe to put on Rat Pack. If you give that additional attack, then additional rats are spawned when it dies.
The one problem with this is that with double Wrath, or even with just Wrath hero power, Mitsuhide is able to clear this entire board if he wants to. And I don't see any reason that he wouldn't do that this turn. Getting rid of a Hunter's board is very, very valuable use of your turn.
I think a lot of this Direwolf Alpha over Crackling Razormaw play was actually fueled by there not being any interaction on turn 2 from Netherlands.
Right.
Wild Growth was played instead of a Wrath or a hero power, which seemed like it would have been perfectly fine on turn 2. I certainly would have faulted them for it. So maybe Brazil thought that a hero power would have to come down this turn onto the Fiery Bat, and the Wolf has a chance of living then.
Well, it's kind of worked out for both sides, actually, because Liam Main is now able to curve directly into the Rat Pack. And as you said before, that attack buff could be even +1/+1. It's an extra rat. It's more survivability for the Rat Pack. It's definitely a minion that benefits more off of the adapt than a lot of the others do. Alternatively, Brazil could just ignore just not play the Razormaw, play Alley Cat and Animal Companion next turn, coin out Savannah Highmane, and then try and get that some Wind Fury.
Whew. That's scary.
Yeah.
I mean, that's game winning.
I mean, a 6 attack Savannah High Main hitting your face once is bad enough, but if it hits your face twice in one turn...
Well, I mean, if Savannah High Main hits your opponent's face, you just win the game. I mean, that's
history,
the adage.
right?
Armor Smith wins brawls, and Savannah High Main hits face, and you win.
Don't think that's as true anymore as it used to be. But you're right, that's the same.
Well, how often do we actually see Savannah High Main hit face now?
That's fair, that's fair. There's a swipe. Okay.
Time waits for no one.
Swipe is going to be great if Brazil do as I just said and play companion into Alicat. Then Swipe will just destroy Leo Main. I think it's probably the best play as well.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You could coin Crackling Razor Maw, but then you lose coin High Main on 5.
Yeah.
And in this, at least if Swipe has to come down on this board, then you're going to be able to coin High Main into what's most likely a clear board.
Yeah.
Or maybe a 1-1 still left.
Yep, you're right. Even after the swipe, Savannah High Main actually seems strong. You wasting the coin here at this, just before the key turn you've been waiting for, would just be unfortunate. Is he considering just passing?
Quickly.
Okay. I wondered if he was going to try and play around the swipe and just not play any of his minions that have 1 health. No way around
Swipe
it.
hero power, and then Brazil still has initiative with the coin High Main.
Yeah, I think that High Main is going to be hitting the face at least once. I've got to say. So if what you say is true, then Brazil have already won this.
I don't want to put the stress on him.
Eaglehorn bow.
This is still very much winnable for Netherlands.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
the bow into the Gluttonous Ooze is going to help Mitsuhide out a lot.
But what do they need to start with? Their hand is a lot of utility right now, but it's not strong independently. It's going to require Nourish into a couple of draws or Gadgetson for additional Jade synergy minions. Oh, the Ooze coming down before the bow.
He just needs the tempo. It's just pretty important at this point that he's got a way of dealing with that High Main before he gets too out of control.
Now these minions trade into the High Main as well as 1 Hyena.
Yeah. But let's see. If that gets Wind Fury, that's 12 damage now, putting Netherlands down to 11. Kill Command can then put Netherlands down to 6, although they would just hero power. But very, very soon they will have the damage they need to just win. If this gets Wind Fury... Nope.
Divine Shield's okay.
Divine Shield, Poison Spit, Shrouding Mist. Stealth would be fine if it had already attacked once.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. This is much slower. Leo Main isn't going to get a win this way anywhere near as fast as he was before.
But it's still an enormous amount of pressure.
Still making progress.
Second Nourish means that Mitsuhide will have nothing that he can really develop this turn. So you try to mitigate damage. The Razor Maw dies, one of the cats dies. And then that's still 16 damage with a hero power and kill command for Leo Main.
Wow.
Actually 17 with the 1 damage from the remaining cat.
So Mitsuhide needs to armor up urgently.
So you can Feral Rage for armor.
And that appears to be the only way that he survives. I guess he could hero power Earthen Scales, but why would you do that when you can just Feral Rage for armor?
Well, if you hero power down the cat, you're at 17. And then there's only 16 with kill command and hero power.
So if you hero
Live,
power
but just
regardless,
barely.
then
But,
yeah.
I mean, Unleash the Hounds wouldn't be enough mana, so you feel okay in that situation. I don't really see a reason why you wouldn't.
Oh, it's getting close. Mitsuhide is
Counting every point of damage.
Yep. He's going to struggle to stabilize here. Leo Main picking up Firefly. That does very little at this stage in the game.
That's more annoying minions that Netherlands will need to clear.
Does Liamane play the kill command this turn? I kind of don't see why not. Just push as much damage as possible, set up the hero power lethal over a few turns.
It's not likely that your beast gets removed,
Okay.
so I don't know that you have to, but I think Mitsuhide can get a read on what's in the hand for Liamane.
Okay.
It's either like Unleash the Hounds or
Yeah.
Kill command at this point.
And you're right. How does the Savannah Highmane get destroyed? Mitsuhide would have to pop the Divine Shield and destroy it and destroy both hyenas. That's incredibly unlikely. So there should always be a beast available to proc that kill command. May as well save it for the surprise lethal a little bit later.
Okay, so Mitsuhide can play the Behemoth, Feral Rage for armor, put himself up to 14, and prevent 6 damage from the Highmane this turn.
That just looks like the play. Just Jade Behemoth, Feral Rage. Jade Spirit doesn't seem playable this turn. Jade Blossom doesn't seem playable this turn.
Earthen Scales would also put you out of range of Kill Command Hero Power, but with 1 more draw and 8 mana, double Kill Command Hero Power is something you need to be aware of. Now you're out of range of that.
Flare, sneaky. Not going to do anything against the Jade Druid, though.
Oh.
Do you play it, though? I guess you do.
You forego 2 damage, but you potentially make up 6 additional damage next turn, so yeah, it's worth it.
Even trading in this Flame Elemental. Sure, leaves 1/3/3 on the board. A 3/3 that can't really trade with anything. Oh, now what does the Netherlands do? They can Fandral into Nourish. And then hopefully draw another Feral Rage.
Oh man, 6, 12, 14, 19 damage for Brazil.
Only 14 health for Mitsuhide.
Netherlands needs to gain at least 6 health this turn to live. They can get 4 from the Earthen Scales and 1 more from the Hero Power. That's not enough.
Is it ever worth just nourishing without using the Fandral? I wonder if there's any...
Is there anything that you can do for 5 mana that you can't do for 3?
that gains you armor or puts up a taunt? I can't think of anything, not unless there's a Druid of the
If you pick
Crook,
up like
but-
Innervate and Jade Behemoth.
Oh, okay, sure. With Innervate, yeah. Well, can I just Earthen Scales the 5?
There's 6, so that's enough.
For no one.
Yeah. 20 health versus 19 damage.
Yep.
I guess it will be 21 health with the hero power as well. Liamane once again 2 damage off lethal.
This is a lot of damage on the backswing for Mitsuhide, actually. Liamane might need to be a
second
little
flare.
bit... If Brazil doesn't pick up the 2 points of damage this turn...
That oh no, it's
can't hero
not.
power.
It's not. Because
Okay.
of the flare.
But the taunt also means that you're not as scared of the damage on board from Netherlands.
Okay.
Whereas this was
Almost
15,
setting up. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
19 with a swipe, 20 with a hero power. You were pretty scared here. If you put up a taunt, you're not doing too bad.
2 Savannah Highmanes about to smack the face. One of them going to deal 8 damage by the looks of it.
So you can deal 16.
I mean, if getting hit by the face in the face once by a Savannah Highmane is enough to lose you the game, then
I mean, this is like
how about all of
third or
these
fourth
turns?
time.
Exactly.
If Brazil still loses the game here, then I think that is officially the death of the adage.
Moves quickly.
Well, now we solved that question. That mystery.
Yeah, how Master going to do its thing? Block any possible damage coming from Mitsuhide. Oh, what?
Okay, so you
Just keep it going, Mitsuhide. Keep it going. Keep it going.
can Fandral Nourish and Feral Rage.
Isn't enough there?
6, 10, 12, 15, 17. Liamane presenting. You can get up to 13. So you would need to find...
Something very
Do
good.
they have a second Earthen Scales left?
Yeah, they should do.
So if you Nourish, find Earthen Scales, then you can Feral Rage and Earthen Scales.
well, now they need Innervate and Earthen Scales.
Yeah.
That's one part. No, the other part though. So if they didn't play the fan duel, they would have been able to survive this turn. That's gotta be a little frustrating.
Okay, so 4-3. 2 goes in, 6 goes into the Houndmaster, and that leaves 6, 8, 10, 15. And then you'll be at 12? 13?
13.
No.
14.
Not seeing it.
Yeah, 14 with the hero power as well. Oh dear. Earthen scales.
Okay, so now like this. 7 in, 2 in, 3 goes to the Houndmaster, clear off the additional Hound. Now that's 6, 8, 13.
Does that do it? 11, 12, 13? No, it doesn't do it. It's not quite enough. It's exactly
but very,
lethal.
very close.
It's exactly lethal from Liamane now. Mitsuhide did what he could to try and get out of range, but the Hunter is going to take the day. Liamane winning his first game. I'm getting a little bit nervous about this.
Very, very close. If Mitsuhide had not played the Fandral there, he could have Feral Raged and Earthen Scaled and would have been able to live through that turn. Would he have still won the game? I don't know. The board presence for the Druid was significant. The Hunter just put consistent pressure with the hero power and 2 copies of Savannah Highmane. That was a close one.
It's not the death of the adage just yet. If you get hit by the face by Savannah Highmane, you probably lose the game, and Mitsuhide feels the same way. Let's take a look at the game coming up next. It's going to be Kugloran versus Tice. Kugloran on the Rogue.
It's a daring play there for Kugloran. Tice on the Shaman. A lot more standard right now, although we have seen 2 types of Shaman today. The Jade Spirit Echo build, as well as the Bloodlust Evolved Doppelgangster build, which is certainly more standard right now, more consistent across the board, I would have to say. Rogue, probably going to be Miracle Rogue. Whether it has Arcane Giants, whether it has Questing Adventurer, we don't know. This was a pretty last-minute addition to the roster for these guys now that the Rogue Quest was not available for play during this week of the Hearthstone Global Games because we knew that the nerf was coming. We didn't know when exactly it was coming, and we didn't want it to interrupt any of the play by ruining some of the planned lineups. So it was simply not allowed to be played this week. And here we can see Kugloran and everybody's favorite, Tice.
Yeah, Tice, an incredibly popular, one of the most popular Hearthstone player/streamers now. And if Kugloran's playing something weird here when it comes to Rogue, I expect Tice to be one of these players that can kind of see through it and understand what he's playing against. Tice plays a lot of different decks in his stream, plays a lot of try-hard decks, and he plays a lot of fun decks, a lot of more meme decks. He likes to learn everything.
Mm-hmm. He's a man of many decks. He knows what is up when it comes to Hearthstone. Not only a competitive player, but also a fantastic streamer, one of the most popular streamer players, like you said. And I think a lot of the time you can look at Tice and think, you know, he's just a streamer. He doesn't play competitively very much anymore, and maybe you don't respect his ability quite as much. But Tice, last year was the year of Tice in a lot of ways. Tice was absolutely on a hot streak. He's cooled off a little bit for now, but he's still absolutely one of the best competitive players.
He's definitely got a lot of wins behind him, a lot more than a lot of these players do, despite the fact that he's a streamer, which a lot of people, as you said, think, oh, you know, just a streamer. He's not a competitive player. He won so many tournaments last year. He's one of the top earners for Hearthstone tournaments. As we see this probably Miracle Rogue from Kugloran here. Shaku the Collector. Yeah, makes some appearances in Miracle Rogue. It's not completely rare, but there's our friend once again, Sherazan, giving us a great big smile.
Little wave. She's playing to the crowd.
She's very happy that Quest Rogue got banned this week. She gets to come out and play.
And Tice draws another guy who loves playing to the crowd, Patches the Pirate. So honestly, rather weak starts for both teams.
Who's in charge now? Tice, says Patches.
And Tice says, still Tice.
Gonna hold on to it, save it for a Flame Tongue Totem or something later. Patches can be reasonable with Flame Tongue Totem, so it's kind of pointless just throwing it into the Rogue's Dagger immediately. Now, Tice can he can Totem up, he can play Jade Claws. He could coin out a Manatide Totem if he thought it was gonna live.
You do have coin Stonehill into coin Manatide, or the reverse, if that's the option you want to go with. I think I like that. What are you really saving coin here for, right? You don't have anything in your hand that you're working up to. You need to find those cards. And the ways you're going to do it is going to be with Stonehill and Manatide.
Yep, I agree with you there. If you're playing Manatide, you're banking on your opponent not having a backstab, which Miracle Rogues often do have in their opening hand. So it's probably not completely safe, but does it matter? Do you just play it for the one draw?
I mean, for that reason, you could go with Stonehill first to try to prevent backstab plus a dagger to the Manatide on the next turn.
Yep.
Always little time.
Probably what Tice is considering here. Even still, you can't fault him just for a hero power this turn and wanting to save the coin. If you do draw into Thing from Below or Doppelgangster, something higher value that you'd like to get out quickly.
Went for the Manatide totem now, banking on backstab not being present in the deck. And even if it is, okay, so it gets used and the dagger gets used to kill this. It means the backstab can't be used later. Shaku going to come straight down. Backstab going to deal with the Manatide totem, though. Things looking pretty good for Kog'Loro in this game. Shaku is such a strong card when that can't get dealt with.
Shaku?
Shaku.
I've never heard it pronounced that way.
Shaku? Is that just a me thing?
No, I've heard Sunkeeper Tarim pronounced like 6 different ways, but I've never heard Shaku pronounced that way.
No, that could just be a me thing.
Huh. I don't hate it.
Well, now I'm all self-conscious about it.
It rhymes with achew.
Oh, okay. Stonehill Defender might actually be the pick here.
Yeah, I think you want to reroll on these. Block Creeper's good, but it's pretty late.
Job's done.
What'd you hope to pull with Dirty Rat? Gadgets and Auctioneer, I guess?
Swashbucklers, Gadgetsins if you can kill him immediately.
Kog'Loro just...
Questing Adventurer if it's in the deck. Edwin Van Cleef. There's a fair few things that you would like to pull.
Kog'Loro's just asking where his Edwin is, actually. With the hand that he's got.
And now he has a 2-mana 1/1 that discounts elementals that he doesn't have.
Awesome. Ah, there might be a Jade Spirit in there. There won't be a Jade Spirit in there.
Likely Jade Claw is going to come down this turn to kill off Shaku. Or Shaku.
Shaku. I'm calling it Shaku now.
I'll call it Shaku.
Dirty Rat could pull out the Fire Plume Harbinger. That's something that Kog'Loro wouldn't really care about.
Nope. It's 2 mana. He doesn't have to spend to get that out there.
To stop it from clogging up some space in his hand, yeah. But as you said, Jade Claws. Gotta
You just
deal
need
with
to prevent the
Shaku.
value. A lot of resources for Tice, not a lot of resources for Kog'Loro. And that's just a little bit more of not a lot.
Still wants that Edwin. Wouldn't mind a Gadget's Auctioneer in this position either.
Gadgetsin might just be game winning.
Gadget's with double counter for coin, yeah, it often can be. No Calamos in this deck.
Whew,
Cold-blooded.
he is going in. I mean, Tice is overloaded to 4 mana. Jade Lightning lines up perfectly.
Well, that does force Tice's hand this turn. That's all he can do. The Jade Golem will only be a 2/2. Again, if Brazil were to pick up Gadget's Auctioneer now, then it would just complete this picture. It would allow Sharazan to come back to life very easily.
Yeah. And now you've seen a lot of the cheap spell resources, so everything you're going to draw into is going to be much higher value. Oh. 2 pair.
Now, I did ask Tyler as well, as I asked most of the players I spoke to, what was it like trying to come up with a lineup without Quest Rogue in the meta? And he was one of the players that said, it's not really that hard in this format. We just come up with our pairing, which class we want to pair Rogue with, and then go from there. Don't know if they would have anticipated having to play against Quest Rogue. Sorry, Miracle Rogue.
I myself would have kind of just written it off, I think, this week. And we've seen Miracle Rogue with varying degrees of success over the course of today. This, I would have to say, is one of the lesser degrees. If a Gadgetsin Auctioneer is picked up, the tide of the game changes very quickly. But Aggro Shaman lines up incredibly well into all forms of Rogue because they have no health gain, no taunt minions, and very little board clear. So you can just flood the board, Bloodlust, and win. And there's not much they can do to stop it. So I would say the shaman's pretty significantly favored here regardless, and this hand certainly isn't helping.
Okay, hang on. Fanonize is a good start. Kind of. If he can Fanonize...
You gotta prep Fan and hope you pick up Gadgetson.
Yep.
I think that's it.
That's probably the way to go. If Fan can pick up a second Fan, that's not horrible either. It would at least clear most of the board with the dagger too.
You could revive Sherazin.
But you're right. Let's go, Auctioneer or bust, really. Oh dear. And this is the problem with Miracle Rogue. Sometimes a Miracle Rogue hand can just beat itself.
Miracle-less Rogue is worse than Cthulhu-less Warrior.
No miracles to be found here.
Still one more turn to maybe pick up that Gadgetson and turn this around. But still, no board clear in the deck.
Not quite anywhere near lethal just yet for Tice, but this is the turn where he can quite easily set it up.
Aya plus Flame Elemental. If you're worried about damage, maybe you think that Brazil has Leroy's second Cold Blood Eviscerate in hand or something crazy.
I just don't think that the Aya is necessary here. Just put as much on the board as possible. Flame Elemental, thing from below. Can't quite totem as well then, but next turn Patches can come down with the Bloodlust.
Yes. It's another reason to keep Patches.
Yeah.
And if you've got it in your hand, no, you're not happy about it, but maybe you make the best.
Better than a 1 damage Patches is a 3 damage Patches with Flame Tongue Totem, but better than that is a 4 damage Patches
with Bloodlust.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on a 6 damage Patches.
How do you do that?
Flame Tongue and Bloodlust.
Ah. All right.
It's so crazy we can't even theorize about it.
Final chance. And Kagloran picks up the Razor Petal Lasher.
Goodness gracious.
That's not going to do it. It looks like Tice is going to take the first game for Team Netherlands today. The day of the sweeps actually ended quite some time ago. That was just for the first part of the stream. Part 2, it's going to be a little bit harder than that.
I would expect this match to be quite even. I want this one to go long. This is the one that I would be certainly very happy to see a 3-2.
Okay. Evolve would be a fine draw in this position if it weren't for the fact that Tice already just has lethal.
Still one of my favorite sounds in the game. It's just such overkill.
I don't know. I lose too many times immediately after it gets played. So
yeah.
It just hurts me a little bit, but it's not hurting Tice.
It's not always a good sound to hear, but it kind of makes me giggle.
Pretty happy sound for Tice to have heard just then as it takes his win. Game number 2, 1-1 Brazil, Netherlands. It is going to be a close one.
And like I said, favored for the Shaman. Aggressive decks against Rogue just always have that edge, and Shaman is one of the most aggressive decks in the format right now. So not too much really that the Rogue has to beat themselves up about, especially with a hand that dismal. With that little interaction, nothing that they could do.
Yeah, and next up, it's going to be Legolas versus Theo. Legolas on the mage. Theo on the rogue. Okay, hold on a second, because Tyler told me...
The reversal!
Hang on a second, now I'm confused. Because Tyler said to me, you come up with what you pair the rogue with first, and then you go from there. Theo's paired rogue with priest, which indicates that maybe he'd planned to play rogue all along, because priest is another one of these not very popular classes at the moment.
It's sort of a fringe class, right? Priest has had some great success. It's a little bit iffy in other spots, but you can definitely see people playing priest. And traditionally, if you paired priest with rogue, I would expect to see rogue.
Yeah. Today,
I don't think I would.
No.
So I'm a bit surprised with just how much rogue we're still seeing, even after Quest Rogue is not available.
And here's the thing as well, Theo bringing rogue, isn't mage like the class that's most favored against Miracle Rogue? Thanks to ice blocks and just burn damage that just hits the rogue in the face over and over.
It's definitely up there. It's one of the best.
Not necessarily the matchup that Theo would have been hoping for, but we're about to see how it goes. Game number 3, Netherlands versus Brazil, starts right now.
Or in a couple of seconds.
I was a little bit preemptive on that.
Just momentarily.
Any second now. There we go. All right.
Got him.
All right, let's go.
Oh, we're so on point. Nailed it. All right, so Medivh Mage up against Questing Rogue. Not Quest Rogue. Very different.
Questing rogue.
Questing.
Okay.
3 extra letters changes everything.
Yeah, and again, I just think this is such a strong matchup for the mage. This could actually be Freeze Mage, which is pretty funny. George sees Freeze Mage, runs Medivh the Guardian. And either way, Freeze Mage and Discover Mage both just seem very, very strong against this deck to me. Hallucination is a card that can even the playing field a bit.
It can.
Because if Netherlands can get an Ice Block from a Hallucination or a Swashbuckler, then it gives them an extra turn, and they could use that extra turn to win the game.
It's a big if, though. Hallucination has a lot of cards it can draw from, and Rogue has a lot of very useless cards, or Mage, excuse me, for Rogue. So any of the other secrets, for instance, probably wouldn't give you great value, but remains to be seen if that will make much of a difference here. I do agree with you, though. Mage is pretty favored against Rogue, just because they pretty much match in the early game, and then burn him out. There's nothing that the Rogue can really do to stop that interaction.
What is it with Netherlands picking up patches in their opening hand each game? This time it looks like Theo's actually going to play it. No point in saving it for a Flame Tongue Totem. You can save patches in Rogue to play it with some combo cards. But Theo decided here that wasn't the correct thing to do. And Legolas even greeting him with that emote. Did you see the fireworks there?
Beautiful. He must have played the Tavern Brawl.
Yeah.
Did you play the Tavern Brawl?
I did.
I did too. I played it to get the tier 3 fireworks.
No, I only played it once, unfortunately.
I only got the tier 1 firework.
Yeah.
Casual. Tavern Brawl casual.
I mean, I don't play Tavern Brawl that often at all. So the fact I played it once was, was something.
It's pretty good.
It was a lot of fun. Okay, well, there's Edwin. Theo actually picking it up, unlike Legolas in the last game. The problem is his hand isn't quite as welcoming to it as Koglorin's, sorry, not Legolas, as Koglorin's hand was. If he can pick up some, maybe preparation, a kind of coin, just something else to set this Edwin off, then it could be huge in a couple turns.
Prep Mimic Pod Edwin at any point is a very welcome sight. But having to patches on 1 and have no development on 2, it's a slow start for the Miracle Rogue. You'd like to get off with, off to a great start with Pirates early on, follow it up with removal on your opponent's minions, whatever you have to do to make that Miracle Rogue thing happen. Whatever it is that they do to win all of those games. I don't know, 2 Ice Blocks and a Doomsayer. Could this be?
I really think it could be Freeze Mage. I really do. We've seen Medivh the Guardian, but Freeze Mages, there are Freeze Mages that run it now. And also Firelands Portal. But again, George sees Freeze Mage does run Firelands Portal.
There's just so much overlap between all of the Mage decks.
Yeah.
Like 22 cards or something are identical, and then one has Frost Novas, one has Cabal Crystal Runners and Counterspells.
Shimmering Tempest, another chance for an Ice Block.
I could give it to you.
I've got to say, the fact that Legolas has both of his Ice Blocks already is an advantage for him. It can just give him the time he needs to push that burn damage into the Rogue's face.
Even if you don't have access to Alexstrasza, for instance, maybe you get a little bit more minion chip damage in there because you have some extra time. It adds up.
Ideally, though, he's going to need to pick up that Medivh the Guardian and play that before the Firelands Portal. Contesting the board against Rogue can be tricky because they've got a lot of spells like Eviscerate, like Sap, that they can just use to cheat the board back away from you again.
From what I understand of Medivh Mage builds, is that Medivh is like plan A.
Okay.
And the burn is like plan B. So you go with Medivh, get him down on the board as early as possible, and usually your opponent will have some form of weapon removal, whether it be Gluttonous Ooze or Harrison. Then you've got a 7/7 on the board. Then you go for plan B, which is just burn him out.
Right.
And oftentimes plan B is going to be more consistent, but you still have Medivh in there because sometimes he just, spirals the game out of control.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Excuse me.
Medivh, it's such a powerful board presence tool, unless obviously the Asiesh gets removed. it works very often. I've got to admit, I was surprised to see Theo drop this Edwin as just a 4/4 as well, picking up the primordial glyph.
Okay, so the wording on glyph, is it discover a mage
No.
spell?
It's discover
a class
spell. So
spell.
Theo would get a
count by
rogue
2.
one, yeah.
Okay. Still not too unhappy about that.
It's difficult to get where the distinction is. Obviously, Shimmering Tempest says add a random mage spell, not add a random spell. So I believe the discovers are usually your own class, and the add a random are usually the
so
original
Babbling
class.
Book is a mage spell.
Yeah, but Lyra is an exception, so it's...
So there's no standardization, and you just gotta memorize them all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, Flame Geyser's not bad. It allows for a clear on Medivh's Valet with the dagger hit.
Yeah, I mean, Theo has the board. I guess the 4/4 Edwin was a great call for him. Doomsayer Frost Nova is now an option for Legolas. Rogues tend to be okay at removing the Doomsayer, but not with this hand.
Could glyph a sap.
Yeah,
Is this board even that valuable to you?
if you're Theo,
Yeah.
because I think if you're Legolas, you want to get rid of it, but
No,
I guess
if,
Ping
if
does.
you're Theo, I think you're okay with this getting removed. It's
Yeah.
Excuse me.
it's a board that's done its job, and the Shimmering Tempest honestly is more valuable dead than alive. Yeah,
Oh,
really valuable dead.
yay. All right, how much value can Theo pick up from this mage deck?
Whew.
And what is the play?
Is this the Kabbalist Tome turn? Ideally, you tome on a turn when your opponent doesn't have much on board.
I don't like it though, because you're not... I
What
feel
else
like
can you really develop? It's like this, or you don't want to Flame Elemental Vile Spine because there's probably going to be Medivh and Alexstrasza.
What about
or
Mimic Pod?
Doomsayer.
Because it still leaves you 3 mana to do something. Maybe you draw into... I don't even know.
I mean, you
Thinking
could-
about it,
you
I
could
don't even
glyph
know.
first and go from there.
Okay, the more
It's
we're
all just a
discussing...
bunch of what ifs.
The more we're discussing this turn, the more I prefer the Kabbalist Tome. Because you're right, just all of the other plays seem weak.
You tome and then you have 9 cards.
Okay, final suggestion. Flame Elemental into Valspine Slayer. It's a weak kill.
That's what I was thinking.
But at
Vile
least-
Spine is valuable for Alex and Medivh.
No.
So I don't know.
Can actually pick a
This'll do.
If we're playing a value game, then sure, why not? Just go for it.
Playing a value game, you're gonna own now.
Now, Cold Blood makes more sense. Shadow Step doesn't do anything except activate the Valspine Slayer again, I guess. Having to Cold Blood and trade this? Ouch.
You're sort of net zero because you got an additional Cold Blood off of Primordial Glyph, so sacrificing 1 is okay. And I do like that he went with the one that cost 1 mana and was
Of course.
assumed to already be in the deck instead of the one that he generated.
And Cold Blood is now free after Gadgets and Auctioneer 2, which is just an extra little advantage there. You can play that, draw an extra card at no cost.
Perhaps.
Now Legolas, it's his turn to start putting things on the board, and he has nothing to put on the board. He could Doomsayer here to set up for a Firelands Portal next turn.
Or you could just do nothing and Firelands Portal a minion.
Yeah,
The end is coming!
looks like he's doing it. Just trying to do whatever he possibly can to put something on the board and have it stick. And it looks like the Firelands Portal minion is what he's going to go for. Valspine Slayer must be tempting now, though. Because you got 2. Do you need both?
Do you really need to? Do you even need to do anything this turn? Besides, like, hit and redagger?
You could even play the Fan of Knives. They're not going to
Yeah,
be that
you could.
useful in this matchup.
Good cycle. I don't know, maybe it's my arena perspective, but Valspine Slayer is like the #1 card for Rogue in arena, and you want to get as much value out of this as possible. And I know there's not a lot of value that you can get from it in this matchup, but we saw Medivh. There's going to be Alexstrasza. There's more difficult minions to remove, and this Doomsayer, yes, will give initiative to Legolas, but you haven't seen any other minion development up until now. So it's unlikely that something really strong comes down behind this, unless he does have coin. Coin Medivh could be a possibility.
Okay. Gotta say, that was a terrible, terrible Kabbalist tome.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
Polymorph is okay, I guess. Flame Geyser is 2 damage. Freezing Potion is
Oh.
a Freezing Potion. Okay, well, you called it. You said that Brazil are coining up Medivh this turn, or at least that's what Netherlands are playing around. There it is.
Good.
Into the Firelands border next turn. This is very strong turn of events for Legolas. Look, a 3rd Cold Blood.
Why not? Okay, so
We just get rid of it with Vilespine Slayer, right?
yeah, you
Just
can
have to-
fan Vilespine or you can Flame Geyser Vilespine.
Yeah, I guess you fan. I guess that's the better one.
And now you have Gadgetson with Freezing Potion, 2 Cold Bloods, Flame Geyser. You can draw pretty much your entire deck.
Do you play Gadgetson now, or are you too afraid of the potential of a Firelands portal because Medivh?
Oh, I'm not playing Gadgetson now.
No.
No, I'm killing this Medivh.
I was thinking Gadgetson, and then you could freeze it.
Yeah. I suppose.
Oh, there's the flower, which Theo seems to want to play now, but he can't.
Play Sharazin alongside a Polymorph next turn.
Oh my
Alexstrasza.
goodness, everything coming up Legolas's way. No need to play the Violence Portal on the face, as that's Alexstrasza's job later. Ooh.
Lotus Agents and Corehound, not the worst results.
Theo probably starting to sweat a little bit there.
Ah, look at all the resources. 10 cards in hand, plenty of removal.
Brazil just looking so strong. So do you think it's Polymorph Valspine Slayer this turn? That seems to be the clearest way of removing everything. Then you can just dagger away the 1/1. Job done.
That's the easiest.
I guess Flame Geyser SI7 agent is also an option, and then Polymorph the 9/5. It's a lot of ways Theo can do this.
It's going to be 2 more minions coming from Atiash. Maybe you'd rather have Vilespine for one of those that you couldn't kill with Flame Geyser and SI7.
I think I really prefer the Valspine Slayer turn this turn from the others that I described, but no, Theo's found a way to play Sharazin. Gonna play that with the Valspine. Gonna freeze the 5/3. Okay, sure. Probably a little bit frustrating to use that before Gadgetson Auctioneer, but this is a decent board that Theo's coming up with as a result. Problem is, Alexstrasza, I imagine, is going to come down pretty quick.
Damage on the rogue is pretty much permanent. Couple of fireballs and this game could be over very quickly.
Yeah, there aren't any fireballs in Brazil's hand yet. There's just the Frostbolt at the moment. So if Netherlands can put a stop to these huge minions that are staring them down, then there is still a chance here. And they
That
could
can
do
be
it.
done relatively easy.
Yeah.
I got the best deals anywhere.
Ooh, good draw.
I'm wondering, wouldn't it have been better to trade Sharazin into the 5/3? In which case, doing that first is correct.
Could you have revived it then? You didn't know that you were going to be drawing the counterfeit coin?
Gadgetson, Polymorph. Okay, true. You would have had the Cold Blood, but that's only 3 out of 4. So I guess... Okay.
In this case, you'd rather just trade the Vilespine and
Push as much
run
damage as
in
possible.
Sharazin.
There's a prep too.
Like,
Firefly in this Miracle Rogue. Both preps. Too bad.
you can
no...
prep Flame
Oh
Geyser
my goodness.
if you want to save Vilespine.
Too bad no Edwin
Yeah,
can
the
come down this
time.
turn.
No, he doesn't have time. Could have prepped Flame Geyser, but traded the Vilespine instead.
That's all fine. Like, I don't mind saving the second prep for the second Gadgetson Auctioneer. Then again, there are only 7 cards left in Theo's deck. Faunos with the Blizzard, and maybe the Frostbolt too this turn.
You just ping,
Oh, you just ping away the Auctioneer, of course.
and you get a 6-drop. That's a good 6-drop.
It's not bad. Is there a way to deal with it? No.
Are you...
Oh,
Do you really even care if this Gadgetson keeps drawing? Theo's at 7 cards. Is fatigue ever on your mind?
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. I'm just trying to work out ways that Theo can deal with the 6/6. It looks like Thanos, Fan of Knives, SO7 Agent, Flame Geyser would do the job. Don't think that deals with the 2/3 though. Eviscerate might help. Thanos, Eviscerate, Fan of Knives, Flame Geyser. Yeah, okay, that does it.
That clears board. But then you draw
One,
more
two,
cards?
three more cards.
3 more cards? 4 more cards because you Fan of Knives and you draw for that too.
4 more cards. Yeah, of course.
And then you draw at the beginning of your turn, so you're left with 1 more card.
That's not what you want to be against Mage.
Yeah, not killing the gadgets in there was very smart.
Maybe Theo has to SO7 Agent his own gadgets and Auctioneer.
Ooh.
But then he's not dealing with the 6/6. Oh, preparation! There's backstab. That's unfortunate. Can't now backstab the 6/6.
You could have...
Choose soon.
Hallucination as well.
It's gonna draw...
And we've had Edwin already. Edwin was played as a 4/4 way back on turn 2 or turn 3.
Questing, that's what he's been looking for.
I don't think that's
And
good
Ice
enough.
Block.
Instant pickup, but the Ice Block does nothing
Wow.
when you've run out of cards.
Almost out of cards.
But he's gonna fatigue.
I'm out of cards.
Oh boy.
That was...
9 damage, 10 damage, 11, 12, 13 damage with the weapon too. Well, Netherlands just can't win. There's no Eater of Secrets, so they just can't win this game. Oh, that's right. I actually thought
Add
that
insult to injury. I thought it was gonna get damaged right after that.
I actually thought that Brazil were going to use the ATS just to smack the face, just to deal that little bit of extra damage. But nope, okay. Grab 4/7, that works too.
I mean, they get 1 fatigue and then they get 2 fatigue. Block gets popped this turn by Netherlands, but then Brazil has an additional block. Oh, you can even just Frost Nova. Never mind, block's not getting popped. Could Netherlands have weathered the storm if they had killed their own gadgets in?
I actually forgot there was a Thanos there too. I'm pretty certain Brazil could have actually had lethal that turn. Fireball, Frostbolt, ping, ATS charge. If you ping the Thanos...
If you ATS charge first,
Yeah, of course.
Fireball Frostbolt is 11,
Yeah, and then you
12, 13,
ping the Thanos. So
and then
that there's an
14
extra.
is the... Oh, you
ping the Thanos
yeah,
so
so
that
that's
they
2
can't
extra
go.
damage. Oh, yeah, yeah.
So that would have been lethal. Hey, cast a lethal. God, I hope it's right.
Wait, there was a Thalnos on Netherlands board?
Oh, wait, no. Why did they draw... Ah, I was... Okay, never mind.
This guy's toast.
Wait, what?
So close.
It wasn't the Thalnos on...
Miracle Rogue versus Freeze
Oh,
Mage.
man.
Sorry, Twitch chat. Cast a lethal is as good as Twitch chat lethal.
I mean, I honestly, I must have blacked out a second there.
It's been a complicated game.
It's like, what?
Miracle Rogue versus
It's like 10 a.m.
Freeze Mage.
Chicago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. There was a Thalnos.
Yeah, but it was on the other side of the board, not the side that I was talking about. Anywho, doesn't matter. Like we said before, it's impossible for Netherlands to win this game. Brazil get their second win. Netherlands is 1 game away from being kicked out of the Hearthstone Global Games.
You make that sound so bad.
I did. I
Kicked out.
Didn't mean it like that.
Gone. Expelled.
Legolas feeling pretty good about that one. The fate of Brazil now lie with, who's up next? Loxodontus?
Yep. That's that was a weird game. I'm not gonna lie. I am not a rogue player by any means. I am not. But drawing out your deck there, I'm not positive what he was looking for to
Right.
try and win that game.
It was difficult. There were a lot of hard choices there. I think there was an opportunity to SO7 his own Auctioneer at some point, but that maybe meant that he wouldn't have been able to deal with his opponent's minions. It
Yeah.
got tricky. Let's take a look at the next game. Legolas versus Tyler. Sorry, Loxodontus versus Tyler. Shaman
Just a Legolas
versus the
fanboy.
Warrior. I am. I called Chlora Legolas earlier. Now I'm calling Loxodontus
Everybody's Legolas.
Everybody's Legolas. And this looks like it's going to be a more regular game, one that we expect.
A little bit more straightforward, whether it's an aggressive or a more control shaman build or an aggressive or a more control warrior build. There's not a ton of variation here with these decks. So Loxodontus on the left, Tyler on the right. I'm sure a lot of you recognize Tyler's room. He is, of course, one of the most dedicated streamers out there, streams insane hours, plays this game more than just about anybody.
Yeah, he often, he plays 12 hours a day, and whereas a lot of streamers would make a big deal out of that, 12-hour stream. For Tyler, it's just another day for him.
Just another stream.
And then some days he'll just go, do you know what, I feel like going for 24 hours today, and he'll just do it.
That's insane.
That
After
guy,
like 4 hours, I'm like, I'm hungry.
And the terrifying thing is,
I want to go outside.
The terrifying thing is, he keeps playing as good as well. Like, his gameplay doesn't get worse.
Well, that's the thing. When you play for such long durations of time without stopping so regularly, like, you don't get tilted. You must trick your body into not being fatigued. That's got to be a huge advantage in open cups, in long tournaments, in invitationals, things like that.
Well, it depends. If he starts this open cup 16 hours into his stream, then maybe it's not as much of an advantage.
True.
Volcano from Loxodontus. What is going on here? The second non-evolve shaman deck of the day.
How does that line up
Versus
against the
Warrior.
Taunt Warrior? Spirit Echo we actually saw it take a win versus Taunt Warrior earlier today, so we're going to be seeing maybe that same matchup.
It was able to play very aggressively.
Yes.
The Warrior wasn't able to deal with the resources quickly enough. It was a close game, though.
It was, but if you can get a very valuable Spirit Echo, whether a couple of brawls or Primordial Drake Sleep with the Fishes, and still have enough development, then the Shaman is really fantastic at developing a large board state after even the Warrior has completed the quest, essentially nullifying the rag shots every turn.
Oh,
it's N'Zoth.
Oh. Well, of all the different types of shaman I thought we'd see over the next few weeks because of the changes, N'Zoth isn't one of them.
And that hand certainly isn't going to do it.
Tyler going to have plenty of time to complete his quest this game. Then the difficulty is going to be with Brazil and trying to hang on as that Ragnaros hero power is dealing 8 damage every single turn.
I wonder if this is some ancestral spirit shaman build. You would almost expect it, right? With Cairn, you would expect ancestral spirits,
Sure.
maybe earth elementals, white eyes.
Yeah, I expect to see white eyes for certain. Stonehill Defender, again, very good in this type of deck. It's good for grabbing things from below, and more white eyes if you want to play a fatigue game. Okay, Brazil saw the Armor Smith, and they looked very happy. I'm not sure. That may just be something they said to each other. Like, they already knew it was a quest warrior.
I mean, if this is a heavy N'Zoth control deck, it is built to out-control decks.
But then
Taunt Warrior is just not a traditional control deck.
It's not. Taunt Warrior is very good at beating anything once it gets that hero power done and ready and down. And
it's almost more of a mid-range style build, and then it gives you an ultimatum as soon as the quest is complete. If it can afford to play it without dying, 8 damage per turn ends the game quickly.
You can't really outlast a deck that has 8 damage every turn for free, which is the problem that Brazil. I always say Kugloran then. What's wrong with me? That Brazil are going to have to
like
face.
2 players on Brazil. It's Kugloran and it's Legolas.
That Loxodontus is going to have to face. I love their names.
They're all kind of similar.
Yeah.
Well,
that's great. I can use that
a lot
as
of
an
them start with L.
excuse. Yeah. Jade Lightning.
Do you just go directly to the Armor Smith?
That's what I'm thinking.
Go straight to Armor Smith. Do not pass Tar Creeper. Do not collect $200.
But you can get rid of the Tar Creeper. You can make the trade and do that.
Yeah.
Does mean you're giving the warrior armor, but do you care about how much armor you're giving the warrior in this matchup?
Probably not, no. I don't think it's particularly relevant. You're not going to kill him early anyway. You're going to run him out of resources, kill him late. After they've used Brawl, you're going to N'Zoth. Hero Power is going to hit your Death Rattles, which will spawn more creatures, and then you'll hit them heavy.
Right. Looks like Loxodonta's going to devolve this board, though. It's a pretty good board to devolve, actually.
You've got so much removal.
A lot of stats just got wiped from the board there.
You've got another Devolve, 2 Maelstrom Portals, 2 Volcanoes,
May as
probably
well start
Lightning
using it now,
Storms.
yeah.
Like, get them out of the way while you can.
You can argue that Devolve is one of the better ones, though. Devolve hits an Ali Armorsmith, Devolve hits a Direhorn Hatchling. It does some serious stuff to it. Tyler is able to play Bloodhoof Brave now. The first proper minion. Actual minion with stats he can put on the board.
Proper.
Minion that can attack, you know.
Tor Creeper was a 1/5.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly my point.
No, don't hit your face. That's not a target.
That's not where it goes.
That's not what
Do
happened.
you think he just decided then that he didn't want to play it and thought, okay, I'll pretend it's Junior Water Speaker? And then...
Anything's possible. Top minions are building up quickly for Netherlands. Some additional generation with the Stonehill means that this quest may be completed
That's 3, that's 4, that's
sooner
5.
than normal even.
That's, yeah, I mean, if you count the extra taunt from the Stonehill Defender, that's 6 taunts ready to go in hand. Sure, you have to wait for turn 8 for the Primordial Drake, but Tyler's going to get there, and it's not going to take him long. It's 3. Unfortunately, we don't see what the discovers are, but we'll hopefully take a look at those in just a moment. Not a snap pick for Tyler. What do you think he's looking for here? What's ideal?
I think he's looking at 3 underwhelming taunts, but you definitely want Ali Armorsmith or Direhorn Hatchling. Those
yep.
are
3 underwhelming taunts.
Yeah. You're looking for the class-specific taunts. Ornery Direhorn,
Ornery.
Unfortunately, isn't the one that you want.
It's okay though. It's the best of a bad bunch, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the way that I like to look at that.
Even Curator's really good.
Sure.
Second copy of Curator doesn't hurt.
No, of course, more card draw.
But Ornery Direhorn, it's okay. It's B tier.
There's the Junior Water Speaker. Okay, so I feel as though Brazil just drop can here. It's well statted to deal with Stonehill defenders. And Netherlands are just not going to be able to clear it. They could brawl if they wanted to, but that one doesn't clear it either. It looks like a bit of a weak brawl. In fact, Tyler is now going to realize that this is a N'Zoth shaman, and he's going to want to hold onto that brawl with everything he's got.
I mean, talk about a surprise pick for Brazil with this shaman build. I guarantee this is not what Tyler was expecting.
Tyler, well, Netherlands and Tyler specifically have had some funny matchups in the past. Is this what?
Well, no, and this is after, didn't you say that Tyler said that Brazil has patterns and that they're
yeah,
predictable?
right.
Well, here you go.
A few weeks ago, Dione played the Tempo Hemet Warrior against, I think it was Tyler.
Goodness.
So he gets...
Tyler
he gets
gets
these
all the
weird
weird matchups.
I believe that was against Tyler. It's definitely against Netherlands. So they're kind of going to be a little bit used to playing against things they're not expecting. Though this Shaman deck isn't completely unheard of.
No, it's not completely unheard of. It's just, it's been most popular during the Wild Heroic Brawl recently.
Right.
It was like top tier in that. And then people were like, maybe this can work in Standard. And then shortly after that, they were like, nope. Not a fan. No Halazeals, no Elemental Destructions. 3 out of 10.
Right.
But Brazil said 3 out of 10. I can make that a 6.
Sure. And it's working out for them at the moment.
If you get the matchup you want, which this is certainly not a bad matchup, Warrior needs a decent amount of time to get going, and you need a decent amount of time to actually kill people.
Another Rathion. No Dragon drawn though. One day it'll happen, Rathion. Ultimately, drawing 1 card for Loxodontas wasn't too bad there at all. And White Eyes is great. White Eyes is pretty good in this deck. Villains picks up another Stonehill Defender. So Tyler, he is actually going to be able to complete the quest very, very soon. If he plays Stonehill Defender now, gets another cheap taunt that he can play this turn. There you go, 4 out of 7. Plays another cheap taunt he can get down this turn. Drake next turn, that would do it. That would just complete the quest.
Yep.
So we're almost there. Gonna start by drawing an extra card with the Acolyte, though.
You do want to get the quest online as quickly as possible in this matchup. You're not worried about damage being pushed from the shaman until after many death rattles have been killed and a larger board presence is, you know, put out from N'Zoth. So the sooner you can activate Sulfurous, deal 8 damage per turn, you want to end this game very quickly.
These aren't the cheap taunts that maybe...
Native.
Yeah.
These aren't the shield bearers of
not
quick
quite.
quests.
Not quite able to be able to squeeze that in this turn. In fact, now it looks like Tyler won't be able to complete the quest and play the Sulfurous for another 2 turns. There's a second Devolve from Loxodontus. It's not bad against this board, actually. Denying the Acolyte of Pain, more card draw. It might buff the Stonehill Defender, though. That's kind of a problem. Well, not buff it, but it won't change that much. 1/4 pretty bad stats.
The stat line could actually be improved on a 2-drop.
The only reason I think it is tempting is because of that Acolyte. You get 3, 2, or you get 4 2-drops.
This is the second Devolve, though. So this is something you really want to think carefully about.
Could get a Doomsayer. 4 2-drops.
You could deal with that, though.
Yeah, that's true.
You could just kill this and then Devolve. That may be wise.
There's little time.
Because it's very likely that the 2-drop has more attack.
Yep, that's what they'll go for.
Lord Walker Joe.
That's a good thing, right?
Yes, it's a very good thing.
Then again, the first thing that Loxodontus did then was hover over it. He's actually going to trade it.
I mean, do you want to kill it or do you not want to kill it?
I think you just leave it alive. You try and just stop the
not
warrior
hurting you.
from playing spells.
You're not playing anything. You can kill it whenever you feel like.
Yeah, I mean, Loxodontus doesn't have any spells he's going to play anytime soon in his hand. His volcanoes are just going to keep on erupting there with their beautiful golden animations.
It's a shame we're not on the Ungoro.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I know that production here love to set up
Needs
the
more
volcano.
volcanoes.
There's Mouse Guy that likes to do his thing. There's White Eyes, in case you haven't seen the card in a while, came out with Mean Streets of Gadget-san. When it dies, it goes back into the deck as a 5-mana 10/10. And if you then play N'Zoth, it comes back and then shuffles itself into the deck again as a 5-mana 10/10.
What now?
It's a powerhouse if you play it in the right circumstances. And it takes a pretty special deck. But this is definitely it.
This is definitely a pretty special
This is a
deck.
very special deck.
I must choose.
Very clunky deck can get caught with hands that are super reactive, only AoE spells, and you can put on absolutely no pressure. But all things considered, the shaman's putting on some good pressure for this.
So yeah, the Warwick's going straight into the minion there. Makes a lot of sense. Loxodontus now picking up Stonehill Defender. Gonna play it straight away. Maybe hoping for another White Eyes, maybe hoping for a thing from below. But the more White Eyes, the merrier in the N'Zoth deck. Ooh, Earth Elemental's fine, I guess. Sunwalker's okay too.
Sunwalker's actually really good. Post-quest completion and Sulfurous activation, Divine Shield can soak up 8 damage.
That's true.
Osrock is never the answer, guys.
Osrock no. Well, I don't know. If you happen to have a lot of Fireflies lying around, then maybe. Just casually create a 9/20.
Not even one.
A 5/20, I mean. 9-mana 5/20.
Don't even Osrock one time.
Okay. Poor Osrock. What did he ever do to you?
He's wronged me. So horribly.
I won't ask any more questions about that.
There's little time.
One word. Silence.
Okay, I understand. I understand everything now. I guess Loxodontus, yeah, you can just drop the Sunwalker on curve. It is so very strong for after the quest completion, as you said, but in this case, it looks like Loxodontus is just trying to apply so much pressure that Tyler has to brawl.
And then he gets a brawl.
Then he gets a brawl, but then also the brawl is gone, and then when N'Zoth happens later, there is hopefully no Brawl to deal with that one.
Thing is, still 17 cards left in the deck. You can't play N'Zoth unless you get the N'Zoth.
Yeah,
And we haven't seen any cycle mechanics yet for Brazil. I'm assuming there's Mana Tide totems. We see the Blood Mage in hand. But there is a reality where N'Zoth is like one of your last 5 cards and you just don't find it.
And that is one problem with White Eyes as well. It actually, because it shuffles an extra card into the deck, it possibly pushes N'Zoth back, the way it works. Daihorn Hatchling can do the same thing. There are N'Zoth Warrior decks which have been played around or tested recently. Some players have done quite well with it.
It's a fun deck.
With Sudden Genesis doing some disgusting things.
I love it when lesser played cards are made viable.
Yeah,
Journey to Ungoro has been really great for that.
it has. Cho is hanging in there as Tyler does a great job of clearing up this board without playing the Brawl.
Yeah, fantastic turn for Tyler.
Oh, this is fine for Loxodontus, except he's going to have to give Tyler a Jade Lightning. Jade Claws to get rid of the 5-2, great. Jade Lightning plus trade to get rid of the 4-8, great. You get some Jade Golems, awesome. But the Warrior
Would
gets
you
to
rather give them a Volcano?
Ooh.
8, 10, 12, 15? Exactly, Volcano clears everything.
I guess.
Should have killed the Cho when you had the chance.
Play the Volcano first, then play Jade Claws and Thanos, maybe, to get through that deck.
I think you definitely want to Thalnos.
Okay, no, it looks like he may be giving the Warrior a Jade Lightning instead.
You can just leave the Primordial Drake there as well.
There's little time.
Okay.
You don't have to play a spell this turn.
Yep. Junior Water Speaker going to come down instead. Make it difficult for the Drake to trade into Bane Bloodhound. Okay. The impact that Loxodontus is having on this game.
It's pretty funny.
It's something that we don't see very often now that there's no Piloted Shadow and haven't seen for a long time, but...
It's changing the course of play significantly. Battle Rage would be great here
Yeah.
for Brazil.
Gotta admit, Primordial Drake looks pretty great here for Tyler. Just wiping out everything except the Junior Water Speaker. You do lose your own Loxodontus too, but that means that you can then coin out Sulfuras. I think that's just the play. Trade, Primordial Drake, go face with the Sulfuras. Start to actually win the game.
Yeah. You had to turn the corner eventually.
There's N'Zoth.
Ooh. Brawl still in hand for Netherlands, and Brazil has to know that.
So what are we thinking? We're thinking a Thanos, a White Eyes, and a
Karen.
Cairn. Totally blanked the Cairn for a moment there. Whoops. Loxodontus wasn't able to play it this turn anyway because of overload. That's fine.
I think there are any actual other death rattles in the deck. There may not be.
Again, I think there's a second... Wait, is there a second Stereo Defender, or does he use both? I think there's a second one somewhere which could get another White Eyes.
One kill.
I would expect Ancestral Spirit, but I don't know now.
I definitely expect Spirit Echoes,
Spirit Echo, yeah.
which maybe Loxodontus would like to pick up before he plays N'Zoth, in the hopes that he can then Spirit Echo that board.
I think they have Farsight.
Oh, maybe.
I don't honestly
Oh,
know.
imagine that. Next draw is Farsight, you get Spirit Echoes from it, and the following turn you can just play N'Zoth and... Oh, that would be huge.
It's a lot of conditions.
Yeah, I just said if a lot of
Yeah.
times in that sentence.
That'd be cool, though. So now Tyler has significantly
What now?
a resource advantage. More pressure to apply. Can start dealing 8 damage per turn, every turn. This turn.
Yeah, it begins 50-50. Are we hitting a 1-1 or are we hitting a are we hitting 8 damage to the face? We are hitting the 1-1. All right. All right. Good job, Alvin Archer.
Super dead, Alvin Archer.
Did your duty. Can't ask any more of you than that. And the Zoth gonna come straight down. And as you said, Brawl is still a thing. White Eyes makes it slightly awkward for Netherlands. Netherlands can't just trade into Cannon and Brawl. I mean, Tyler can actually trade everything. He can trade everything into White Eyes, then get rid of the Cannon, then Brawl if he wants to.
I think this is an awkward brawl. You don't want to brawl away 3 of your own minions.
Yeah.
It feels a little bit bad. Alright, so Bloodhoof into the White Eyes, Primordial into the Cairn. But then there's no reason to...
Alright.
Yeah, you just
That works. You can just leave
up.
Cain alive, actually, if
don't even need any
he wants to.
AoE.
This looks to me like Brazil's win condition has just disappeared.
From him.
And it's gonna be tough for him to come back from this.
It looks to me like we may have our first game 5 of the day.
Yeah, about time too. 2 3-0 sweeps first thing this morning. We've had a couple of 3-1s since then. But this is always going to be a tough series. Brazil have been an outstanding team all the way through the Hearthstone Global Games so far. Netherlands are made up of so many big names that everyone that's into Hearthstone has heard of, knows about. It's only right that this game goes right down to the bitter end.
That's a lot of armor gain.
It is a lot of armor gain. I don't think the Ali Armor Smith even dies, does it? Or maybe it does. Just about. That's what happens when you don't count.
There's the Storm Guardian, but a little bit late.
It's okay. It may eat up 2 shots from the Ragnar's hero power. That's something it does have the potential to do. In fact, the wider Brazil's board gets, well, the sooner Tyler will brawl and then just win. So I just cut that thought just small.
There's another Storm Guardian in the deck as well.
Oh, there is. You're right. Actually, Loxodontus has a lot of resources now in the hand.
It's a good amount of pressure, but one brawl just...
Yeah, so he
ruins
needs
it.
to find the correct way of baiting out the brawl without wasting too many things. Maybe just the Storm Guardian plus 1 thing from below is enough here. Maybe that'll do it. Maybe he holds on to the things from below. If there is a...
Oh, that the hero power doesn't hit the Storm Guardian. Halazeal.
If there is a Spirit Echoes in the deck, then Loxodontus is going to want to hit both things from belows with that.
Yeah. You're going to want that mana tied around as long as possible. I mean, Tyler is running out of pressure other than the hero power. Loxodontus can hero power every turn.
Yeah. I think it just is time for Tyler to pull the trigger, maybe. See what he gets from this slam.
We saw both Primordial Drakes, correct?
Yep, we did.
We did not see the Direhorn Matriarch, however. So Curator would pull the Matriarch.
Okay.
Then
No Malux.
Tyler's getting
Okay, he's actually...
reasonably low on cards. Oh, he needs this 1 and 3.
Missed it.
The Mana Tide's the second best target, though.
Yeah, it's okay. It doesn't impact the next turn at all. That's the only problem. As the card draw doesn't happen until the end of the next turn. Okay, Loxodontus looking in a better position now than he was a couple minutes ago.
4 minions drawn really changes things.
When that N'Zoth was just dealt with so easily, it looked like it was game over for him, but not yet.
Might have to get a little bit lucky with a couple more 50-50s.
Flame Tongue Totem gonna come down. It looks like he really is trying to bait out this brawl. And Tyler, look,
I mean,
the
do you
look
even
in his
just put
eyes.
the second one down?
I think that we were a little bit preemptive there in announcing Tyler's victory in this game.
Well, I mean, I think Tyler's still in a fine position because he
He doesn't look like he is.
He looks stressed as all hell, but I think he still has a second brawl in the deck, right? So
yeah. There's a solid chance that this game goes to
okay.
fatigue, actually. Could happen if we end up with direct hero power just hitting a totem every turn later.
Yeah, in which case Tyler's not going to want to use the curator to draw. He's still going to be one draw ahead of Brazil. Okay.
Both of these decks have shuffled extra cards into the deck.
So there's one more Storm Guardian still for Loxodontus. And there's, Direhorn Matriarchs for Tyler.
Right.
So overpowered, understated minion, or undercosted minion.
Yeah. So does Tyler try and deal with the Storm Guardian one more time with the hero power? Because if he does, then I guess the play is just weapon into the Taunt Totem and then hope to win the 1 and 3 this time. If it fails, we just stick up the Alley Armorsmith. I think that might be the way he has to go. Unless he wants to take a 1 and 4 and not even hit his weapon in, but that just seems worse.
You could also tank 12 damage and sleep with the fishes.
Ooh, you're right. It's not something I'd considered. You're right.
I don't know that I'd advise it.
Tanking 12 damage? No, I have to admit, I'm never a fan of that. That's a miss too.
Oh, Jinyu as well. The Storm Guardian is now killed 2 minions, and it's still kicking.
Yeah, and it's going to kill some more at this rate. Tyler, of course, still has the chance to hit it with the hero power, but it's just not happening. That hero power is just, it's got a magnet stuck to some totems.
That's Taunt Warrior for you. These games end up going very long because a lot of the time you just don't get the rolls that you need.
Maybe now Tyler has to play the Brawl.
I think that's what Loxodontus just keeps saying. Well, maybe now he has to brawl.
Yeah, and then afterwards he
maybe
just
if
says...
I expend one more resource, he has to brawl.
And afterwards he just says, here are my things from below. Things from below? Thing from belows?
I think it's things from below.
Things from below. It sounds right to me.
No, Harrison can't be played with the Jade Clauses up because you don't want to get
cards.
that much further into your deck than your opponent.
Already down to 6 cards. Brazil still have 8 cards left in their deck. Putting Tyler down to 5 cards left is risky. He's going to go for it, though. He feels as though he needs another resource. Maybe an Execute is what he's looking for. He gets the second Brawl.
Maybe now he feels like he can pull the trigger on the first one.
I have the feeling this turn he just hero powers again.
I mean, he's been very consistent in that game plan. It hasn't been working for him yet.
I don't know if he even swings the weapon, though. He just hero powers, so the next turn he can play the Brawl. Still got 33 health remaining, Tyler, so not under any immediate threat just yet. There's not much burst in this N'Zoth Shaman deck, at least you don't expect there to be. Just went face. There's the Spirit.
There it is. Wow.
That's a good. Oh
yes,
my goodness.
that's a good.
That is a good.
Holy, that's a good.
Just drop both Thing from Belows, drop Halazil, because why not?
Do you ever overdraw?
Well, if you, the more minions you play,
Yeah, does it
you're emptying them from your hand anyway.
does
So
it matter? Oh. You definitely don't totem, but you can't totem if you want to play Halazil and the Spirit Echo anyway. And then this will surely draw out a brawl.
well, he can play the Flamesong totem. Oh no,
Not if you want to Halazil and Spirit Echo.
the Overload, yeah.
And maybe you don't need to Halazil and Spirit Echo.
What's he doing here?
I think you want Spirit Echo on that Storm Guardian. 100%.
Okay, so I'm wondering. Okay, no, he's gonna do it. I was wondering for a second if he was just trying to bait out the Brawl first, then play the Thing from Below, and the Spirit Echo, and then let the second Brawl take them out the first time, and then replay them a third time.
This is
just
such a payoff. I mean, this is what Brazil has been waiting for this entire game.
I cannot believe this is happening.
It took until the bottom 8 cards of their deck to be able to find the Spirit Echo, but now that they have it...
And
Oh
the
my
Storm Guardian survives
God.
again. Right, it's okay. The hero power can still take this out. Calm down, Tyler. Don't
But will it?
don't tilt.
But will it? Come on.
If it goes face, then he's about to win the game. Oh my. Well, he's not because of the Jinyu
And the Halaziel. Oh
and
my.
the Halaziel with the volcano.
These are some of just the unluckiest rag shots I have ever seen. Look at Loxodonta's face right now. He's laughing, he's smiling, he's having a great time.
I don't think either of these players know
Like,
what
my
to think.
Storm Guardian is impervious to rag.
I've got the answer to it. I've got
Can't be
Hex.
killed.
Jinyu just gonna quickly put Loxodontus back up to 14 health, way out of range of that one rag hero power. But if the next two go face from Tyler,
Yes, then that,
it can actually still end that way.
and that sort of seems like that's where this is going.
It's likely because there's a second brawl in the hand, which can force maybe the second one to go face. He just needs to try
And
and
one more from there, and you, I mean, Loxodontus can Halaziel Volcano if he absolutely has to. Heal for 15,
yeah, that's
and then
true.
play 2 Thing from Belows behind that.
Loxodontus is going to hold off these things from below, though. Going to hold things from below. It's hard to say the plural of that card.
Kind of is. It's definitely things, but I don't know why it's not as in.
Hold on to the things.
Not
He's
as
gonna
obvious.
he's gonna hold on to the
Yes,
things.
hold
in
on
his
to all
hand.
the things that come from below.
And wait for the second brawl before he plays those. Sure, play the Stoneclaw Totem. No harm in that. And there's execute. So he can finally take out the. Yeah. Now Tyler, if he brawls, he knows exactly what's left in Loxodontus' hand. The only card he doesn't know about is the Hex, and I guess the Volcano, if he doesn't already have a read on that. So, does he want... Oh, he doesn't know about the Halaziel either, does he?
No, he does not. It wasn't played with the Spirit Echo.
So, does he want to just allow Brazil to play both things from below's next turn? Things from below next turn.
I'm not going to fault you for it. It's hard.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
And
Gonna just try and get the rag shot in right now. Oh!
Storm Guardian finally dies.
For now, temporarily.
There's still another one in the deck.
Yeah, and one in the hand.
Yep. You know, one in the hand is worth a bunch of rag shots. So one more rag shot to the face for Tyler. This game's actually over.
But if Brazil can't actually play Halaziel plus Volcano this turn because of the overload.
No, they can't.
So-
this actually is just going to be a percentage victory
Lux-
for Tyler here.
Loxodontus has to go as wide as he possibly can. Totem, both things from below. The Storm Guardian.
After all this, all the stress, all the rag hits, it's going to literally come down to
A rag hit.
a rag hit. So you can Storm Guardian, Jade Claws, double thing from below, hero power.
Yep.
If you Jade Claws, that means that you can't Halaziel Volcano next turn either, but you just win at that point. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we're putting, what, 5 minions on the board here? So 1 in 6 for Tyler.
Oh, God. I don't want to be Netherlands right now. Not even a little bit.
Wait, what if they were to draw a Ravaging Ghoul? They've got double sleep with the fishes. A
Yeah,
whirlwind
that would actually just be game, wouldn't it?
or a whirlwind.
Do they have any left?
They've got-
I don't know.
I think they do. I think they have a whirlwind left at least.
I don't know. That's not it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Revenge double sleep with the fishes would have dealt with everything except the Storm Guardian.
Yeah.
Then Execute would have finished off the Storm Guardian. Hero power going face.
If they
would have-
Direhorn Alley Armorsmith, can they survive? From what they know.
Oh.
Direhorn comes down, Storm Guardian goes in, Alley Armorsmith goes down, Jade Claws plus Thing from Below goes in, you gain
Look at that.
4? No, he's...
This is it. This is the end of the game.
No, it's... I can't watch.
I have an axe to grind.
Is this going to go to game 5? Or is Tyler about to whiff and have Loxodontus take it away?
Oh my God.
It
Oh!
hits! It hits!
He actually got it!
Tyler gets the win against Loxodontus. We are going straight to game 5. Netherlands are still very much in the Hearthstone Global Games right now.
Oh my God!
Oh. I can hear production laughing in the background.
Can't blame him. Oh my god! That was a 1 in 6.
Yeah, it was. Noxodon did everything he could to survive that. He went as wide as he could. Unfortunately, because of the overload the turn before, he couldn't play Halazeel plus Volcano.
Tyler won an under 20% chance to... But after losing God knows how many of those rag flips to hit that Storm Guardian.
Yeah. It's
like countless rag flips. He was due for some actual luck there.
Yeah, you can easily watch this.
That was just flipping luck.
You can easily watch this and say to yourself, oh, Tyler's so lucky, but no.
Everything that he did up to that point got him to that point, to that 1 in 6 chance for a victory. And he got it. That's being rewarded after playing very patiently. I mean, patiently.
Right. Well, it was
16% chance.
according to a voice in
our friendly calculator in the ear.
Anyways, if we've had time to just take a breath, I believe there is one more game left in this series. It's going to be Legolas versus Tice.
Oh
Druid versus Have you got it in you, Cora?
No.
All right.
It's okay. I'm going to pull through.
Neither player playing Warlock. Big surprise there.
You know what? Fun fact, though. When we called it for Netherlands, we were right. But just like a half hour before it happened.
Right. We did. Okay, well, there's Legolas and Tice. Neither of them...
They don't even look flustered.
Well, they probably weren't expecting to play this game. Legolas, I imagine, is quite frustrated about this.
Yeah,
But
I would think so.
Tice has been given one more chance. He won his first game. Legolas won his first game. Which one of them can win a second? I was certain that for a long part of that, I was certain that we were going to go to that Brazil were going to take this.
But just think about every intricate detail of that game that led to that point. All of those rag shots that he wanted to hit the Storm Guardian that went face instead. And then finally led to the 16% chance that another rag shot would hit face and Tyler would actually be able to win the game.
Yeah, I mean, back then the N'Zoth was dealt with.
That was insane.
We said, oh, Tyler's won. That's it. Legolas lost his win condition. But then the Spirit
bottom
Echoes.
8 cards had Spirit Echo. Loxodon has held both Thing from Belows in hand up until that entire point, knowing that there was a Spirit Echo in his deck and that was going to be the win condition. And he did it, and he executed it perfectly, playing around the brawl with the Storm Guardian that just would not freaking die. And then Tyler played the brawls when he had to, played to survive when he had to, and against all odds, after the calculated play there, won that game.
Right. Anyways. Like the players,
it was amazing.
The players, we now need to try and move on, if it's possible. There is one more equally important game. The winner of
more important,
in fact, is the winner of this one game of Hearthstone will be going through to top 8 of the Hearthstone Global Games. The loser is out, and it's starting right now.
Should have worn my Brazil pin. Oh, I dropped the ball.
Yeah,
it's my fault.
Gonna be Jade Druid versus some sort of paladin, a slower paladin.
A control paladin.
As we can see the Idle Peacekeeper exactly. Does this run N'Zoth? Could this be a continuation of a great game we had at DreamHack, where Zump was able to win with his N'Zoth paladin against a Jade Druid?
That was actually a really awesome game.
It was.
That was a really, really good game. Zump was just... It's kind of a breakout from that tournament. It was
a continuation of the N'Zoth streak here this game, maybe.
We'll have to see.
Both players.
Jade Druid against Control Paladin. Jade Druid is normally going to be heavily favored.
Pyromancer, yeah, definitely a Control Paladin. I feel as though Netherlands have had the short straw for this entire series, actually.
Their matchups have been quite bad.
They had the Rogue versus the Mage, which is heavily favored against them.
The Hunter versus the Druid, which was pretty Hunter favored.
Yeah.
That Shaman versus Warrior should have gone to the Shaman.
Right. So it's been a tough series for Netherlands as far as pick order goes, as far as matchups, all of the preparation that went beforehand. Brazil won that game. They won the pre-game, so to speak. And now they just need to win the last game as well. Ty's going to play aggressively.
Never pre-gamed for a game of Hearthstone. Sounds exhausting.
Yeah. A lot of
Wild
preparation
growth
goes
off
in.
the top, very nice.
So, we have no idea at the moment if this Paladin deck runs N'Zoth or not. I'd expect it to, but then we've seen that there have been control Paladins that don't run N'Zoth and just kind of win by outlasting.
Those were very prevalent during EU playoffs this season. Just a lot of control Paladins that topped out at Tyrion and Primordial Drake, but they really struggled. They had no win condition. That's where the N'Zoth comes in. You need some form of finisher.
Right.
What to do?
But you bring this Paladin deck because it can do very well against other Paladin decks. It has a lot of options for board clear and stabilization early with Doomsayers against other aggressive decks. I would expect to see some form of healing in here, whether it be Lay on Hands or Forbidden Healing. It just does not do well against Jade Druid.
The start's okay, though. Tice has managed to get together some sort of tempo-y start against Brazil,
Yeah,
who don't have any minion.
No, the start's good for Tice. You need to put on as much pressure as possible. Deal damage early on. You need to create a mid-range deck out of this control Paladin.
Right.
That's what Netherlands is going to try to do.
If Tice can get it so the Spike Ridge Steed can come down on turn 6, that would be very helpful. This turn, Tice could play Pyromancer and Hero Power, but the problem is wasting Pyromancers against a Jade Druid where you might want to Equality Pyromancer later. There are still ways of getting off Equality. You can get it off with Consecration, you can get it off with Primordial Drake.
Yeah. But if you've got one of the pieces already, granted, you're not going to need to clear the board until much later on.
To the 13-13s and 14-14s. Psyche Patarim also very helpful in clearing up Jades. So really, this turn is just between Wicker Flame and Pyromancer.
I think Wicker Flame is the easy, because now Pyro can maybe get in for 3 to 6 more damage.
Yep, it protects it.
And that's what you need.
Hero Power not going to get through that. Yogg-saron, once again, we've seen some interesting yogging today, especially from Zigantag back in the previous series. Pretty bad Yogg, followed by a pretty good Yogg.
That was a fun time. Back in the time of Yogg.
Well,
before
it might happen.
Ragnaros consumed all of my thoughts.
It might happen again in this game. It's the Fire Festival. Ragnaros is allowed to consume your thoughts.
That's true. That's true. Legolas is looking for minions. He wants to start building the Jade Train the old-fashioned way with Jade Spirit and Jade Behemoth and Aya. Hopefully Nourish is going to help him do that.
Well, Jade Behemoth is the perfect pickup before turn 6. It's only going to be a 1/1 Jade Golem, though. Brazil have been a little bit slow in their Jade ramping.
They do have a wealth of resources, however. Big thing that they're going to struggle with is if Spike Ridge Steed comes down on this Wicker Flame. There's no easy way to get through that.
So how does Tice guarantee that the Spike Ridge Steed can come down next turn? Maybe he has to play Pyromancer and Hero Power, just go as wide as he can to guarantee it.
I'm playing Rallying Blade and Hero Power, and I'm going face. Rallying Blade's going to buff the Wicker Flame for 1/1, actually, because it is Divine Shield.
Something very easy to
You can hit in for
forget.
6 and put a Hero Power down. Oh, yeah. You've sort of committed to this plan. You can't out-control the control deck. Can't do it.
So well, even though the Paladin is kind of more of a control deck than the Jade Druid. Jade is like the control killer.
It's the control killer.
Yeah.
You can't out-late game the Jade Druid.
Do it this way instead. Rallying Blade and Pyromancer. Just create the biggest board you can. Again, Tice wants to guarantee that the Steed comes down next turn.
Yeah, Pyro's just more pressure. You don't have a lot of resources, so the resources you do have need to do a lot of work. And Legolas needs to try to stabilize. So a lot of health gain. 16 from the Feral Rage, going to be 2 more Earthen Scales in the deck.
Yeah, so he's not going to just lose to this aggressive control paladin start. But as we keep saying, the Spike Ridge Steed seems to be the key here.
You can go Spike Ridge right into Curator.
Yeah.
To Primordial Drake, if Tice can pick up Tyrion. It's a lot of threats, which are very, very difficult for this type of druid to remove. Any type of druid, actually.
Probably a Stampeding Kodo from the Primordial Drake as well.
Hydrologist from the Murloc.
Yeah, I don't expect to see a Gentle Megastore, but I guess it's possible. We haven't seen too much of this deck yet, though we do know it's more control-y.
Harrison Jones.
So does Tice trade in the Pyromancer to prevent the Pyromancer's ability from going off when the Spike Ridge Steed gets played? Would we prefer to keep the Divine Shield intact? Then you just want to go face?
Yeah. How much damage you got? Question is, do you put the Steed on the Wicker Flame or do you put it on the Pyromancer?
Wicker Flame would become a 5/9, Pyromancer a 5/8. Wicker Flame would have Divine Shield, obviously the Pyromancer.
I might run the Rallying Blade into the 2/2.
Yep.
The Wicker, or Pyromancer's effect, would kill off the 1/1 and then...
And then everything else goes face. That's 6 damage.
Hit for...
Oh, so sorry, 6
8.
plus the 2 from the Spike Ridge Steed.
Yeah.
Sure, do it this way. Doesn't make a difference. As one wild Pyromancer.
That's a fact.
Legolas
down to 13.
Yeah, Legolas's health is low. This is not how you expect this matchup to go. Tice has played so aggressively.
Importantly, Legolas didn't have the early game disruption, didn't have wraths, had to swipe a board of 2 minions.
So Pyromancer can go face for 5. Wicker Flame plus weapon go into the 3/6. I guess that's fine. We'll play the Curator, see what we pick up. We expect a Primordial Drake, we expect a Stampeding Kodo, we expect a Hydrologist. That's exactly what we get. So we have a pretty good understanding of this deck. We're just not sure if it runs N'Zoth yet. The more time goes on, the more I'm expecting it not to. Fandral from Brazil there. Fandral into Nourish into Feral Rage is actually playable this turn. Yogg-saron is playable next turn. Here we go again, Cora.
Ay.
Jade Idol, coin. Oh, sorry, Feral Rage, coin, Jade Idol, because why not? And then you're feeding the Yogg more. Or you could save the Jade Idol and the coin for
Gadgets in. You could.
Probably makes a lot more sense. No? Oh, we're going for a board, okay. All right.
Four is significant enough that you'd like to get it down. Also, if Curator trades in, then Primordial Drake kills off Curator.
Okay. So, True Silver Champion would be fine. Primordial Drake would be fine. If we're Primordial Draking, how are we making these trades? Because we could trade the Curator into Fandral and then it would survive. But then the 2/6 would be destroyed when it trades into the 4/4. I guess you don't even need to trade into the 4/4. Just get rid of Fandral and go face with the 2/6.
You could just True Silver.
True Silver, Hydrologist, Secret.
I wonder.
Maybe Getaway Kodo. Try and get more value from the Curator. Draw some
Maybe
more
a True
cards.
Silver Harrison. I mean,
There's no mana
there's
for
also
that.
been some significant value already gotten from Fandral. Like, you've seen 2 Feral Rages, you've seen Jade
And
Idol,
Nourish.
you've seen Nourish. Are you really that worried about Fandral, or do you just continue going face?
That's a good point. That's a good point. I don't recall if we've seen a Wrath yet or not. That's one of the cards to think about. But yeah, Hydrologist, Secret, Harrison going to come down. And it looks to me like everything was going face there.
This is consistent with their game plan.
Yeah, Tice And Team Netherlands have come into this game with a very specific game plan. And they're sticking to it. Looks like we may have to see a Yogg here from Legolas. Primordial Drake is okay. It doesn't look like it does quite enough. But who knows what Yogg will do.
I mean, Primordial Drake, you run the Golem into the Curator, Fandral Hero Power into the Stegodon, then Drake comes down, clears off 3 minions, leaves a 5/2. It's okay.
Okay. Yep, you're right. That's actually not so bad at all. And Tice is going to struggle to get rid of this Primordial Drake. Primordial Drake is just a card that most decks seem to struggle to deal with. We talked about it with Priest earlier, but it's not just Priest. That 8 health is... it's a big wall.
Yeah, you get a 4/8 and a 3/1 still.
He may just have to play Primordial Drake of his own to get rid of these other minions. Imagine if that was a Repentance. That would have set up Tice's
That would have been
Primordial Drake.
really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Good ordering from Legolas there, so the Getaway Kodo procs. Well, the Stegodon was just played first, so it would have always procced on there. Silly me.
So True Silver Champion allows Tice to get rid of the Primordial Drake. Primordial Drake allows Tice to get rid of the Fandral and puts the opponent's Primordial Drake down to 1.
You could also have Primordial Drake and Doomsayer.
Again, he's just 1 mana short.
Oh, yeah.
No,
He's got
no.
9 mana. Huh.
Which was confusing because Brazil just had 10 mana,
Yeah.
but obviously they've used a
I
lot
just
of
sort of assumed.
rampy things.
Okay, then you can't Stegodon True Silver Doomsayer. You can... Stampeding Coda does really nothing. Harrison True Silver is okay. Harrison True Silver Stegodon.
Yep.
You've got Equalities in the deck, and Primordial Drake is your only follow-up to Equality right now.
Or Doomsayer
Good too.
blocks Brazil from playing anything else if they don't have any removal. If Brazil had a Wrath here, it would be huge. But Brazil don't have any way of clearing their Doomsayer. That's very unfortunate for them.
I don't have any way to heal either.
Is it Yogg time? It can't be Yogg time.
I owe a Death Rattle to a 6/6.
Yes, that's not bad.
There's no way that 8 damage is coming from hand. So you're not dead. But any board that Tice has after this could kill you.
I like this a lot, actually. That's a good spot. I summons the 5/5, then summons the 6/6. Tice now has this threat to deal with. Tice might just throw down Rag Lightlord, though.
Yeah, I think so.
If Brazil couldn't deal with the Doomsayer, they probably won't be able to deal with Rag Lightlord. Seems like some sound logic to me. Primordial Drake is fine too, and then the weapon deals with the 6/6. Gonna just go with that. Can even put down Hydrologist. All right, sure.
Getaway Kodo.
You need the value. The other 2 cards just don't cut it.
Could you get cheeky with Eye
Ooh.
for an Eye?
Yeah, I was just thinking that too. Jades are on 7/7 moving forwards. A lot of Legolas's healing is gone. He should still have 2 Earthen Scales, though. I think that's the problem. If 1 Earthen Scales is played, it kind of shuts down the Eye for an Eye. Wrath drawn 1 turn too late for Brazil. Fandral is gone now.
When do you have to Yogg? You gotta take back this board. Jade Spirit gives you a 7/7.
You think it's Yogg time now? Looks like he's praying to Yogg, so let's go. 3rd Yogg of the day, sort of. Oh, that'll do. That'll do as well. What?
Oh,
Okay, so it wasn't...
that's a little bit disappointing.
It wasn't completely mad then.
Well.
Tice for a second was just thinking to himself, this is not how I want to get knocked out of the Hearthstone Global Games. Unfortunately, I'm not sure which Hunter Secret that was.
No, we do not know. If we get word, we will, of course, let you know which one it is.
I wonder.
But Ragnar's Lightlord does look like the obvious way to go here. If that's not a snipe, that would... Oh, Oh, it is a snipe. There you go. We got word of what it is. It's a snipe. And getaway Kodo on Rag Lightlord's not bad either.
No, it's great. Big threats are very difficult for Druid to deal with. They have to go through them with minions. Okay, Behemoth Jade Spirit actually is...
That's a huge
That could be the
turn.
swing that Brazil needs here.
Oh my goodness, that's a big turn. Not only does the Jade Behemoth block the Ragnaros Lightlord from hitting the face, we get a 7/7 and 8/8 Jade Golem.
No equality combo in hand for Tice.
And neither piece of it either.
Yeah.
No Drake, no Consecration, no Pyromancer, and no equality.
Tarim!
Oh, so we trade and then we Hero Power Tarim. That's really, really good draw for this moment in time.
Wow. So necessary.
Is there any way that Tice can hold on until he can play? No, I don't think he can.
Without Tarim, Tice... Yeah, may have just been dead. The secret's getaway Kodo. If the Rag Lightlord had healed itself, Stegodon would have come down, so it still wouldn't have been lethal.
And that's Forbidden Healing as well. Like, essentially, Tice could have used the Forbidden Healing to heal up Rag Lightlord, and then Rag Lightlord would have...
Still may just not go for the... No, he's gonna do it. Because now the Tarim will 100% heal Uther.
Yeah, right. That worked out very nicely, actually.
Or the Lightlord,
Yeah,
excuse
yeah.
me.
And now it takes the Hero Power and both trades to get rid of Tarim. If there wasn't a Wrath there, Rag Lightlord would stick around. But there is a Wrath there. And that getaway Kodo is going to do something. It's up to Brazil, really, which card comes back to life, though. Is he
I
going to
don't
Wrath?
know what you'd rather give them.
I think you'd rather
Probably
give them...
Rag Lightlord.
Yeah, exactly. You'd rather give them that, because...
But you have no Jades, so
You will have, though. Wait, he's Wrathing? Okay, sure. Wrath.
Wrath for one, run him in. That's so unfortunate.
Legolas looks...
I don't think he's happy.
Oh. Okay. Rag Lightlord sticks around another turn. Tarim goes back into Tice's hand. This is turning. It was looking like it was Tice's game at the start, then over to Brazil. But now the fact that Tice is going to be able to deal with the next wave of Jade Golems fairly easily, and he's still going to have 2 equalities in the deck somewhere, things are looking brighter for Team Netherlands. Though Tice does need to get rid of the Skadjistan Auctioneer before it's too late. And that does mean, I guess, playing Primordial Drake and then using the weapon to clear up the Auctioneer. Keeping Rag Lightlord alive.
Yeah, you can't just use the second Tarim here.
No, that's way too valuable now. Problem is, the Primordial Drake's quite valuable too, because there should still be 2 equalities in the deck. But
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen a
I think
Consecration
there's, yeah, there's
either.
Consecration left.
So of those 11 cards, there should be 2 equalities and 2 Consecration. Which is great and all, but if Tice runs out of minions and runs out of ways to actually kill Brazil,
Yeah, then it doesn't matter.
though we haven't seen Tyrion yet either.
No. So there's still some really high value cards left.
We got 5 out
Probably
of the
Stonehill Defenders too.
Yeah. Although some people have cut Stonehill Defenders.
I'm not one of those people.
No, not in Paladin at least. Like it's more common to be cut in Shaman.
It's like 2 Tarims is good.
But I-
How about
I agree with
4
you. I think
Tarims?
Stonehill Defender is just too strong. Whoa, whoa, that's 9.
So there's still 3 copies of Jade Idol in the deck that Legolas shuffled with that Fandral.
Yes.
He's looking for those with Gadgets and Auctioneer.
Yeah.
That's what you want. You want Gadgets and Auctioneer into endless Jade Idols.
Unfortunately, Legolas only going to have 4 mana even when that happens, which isn't the... it's not a huge amount of Jade Golems.
He knows there's a Tarim. He knows there's 2 equalities.
If there's still an Idle Peacekeeper in Tice's deck, which there may well be, he did play one very early,
Yeah.
but if
He
there is still
tempoed
one,
early on.
if there is still one, he's going to want to hold on to the Stampeding Kodo to just kill a Jade later, but otherwise, this is a good way to go. Just get rid of that 2/3 and put up a second taunt and just keep smacking the face. Tice is so close now, but 1 Earthen Scales would shut him down. Legolas got his first Jade Idol. Is it time, though?
I don't know.
If you then whiff the first draw, then...
I mean, you might just have to shuffle this one.
Okay,
just to
sure.
ensure that you have 5 left out of 9.
But Tice is so close to just winning. Okay, he has to just go. And that's a Jade Blossom. That'll have to do.
It's enough.
Sort of.
Sort of. Oh, he's so unhappy.
Oh, there's an event. There's an event. All right, slow down, slow down. All right, and there's the scales. Oh,
wow,
boy. Suddenly, this looks terrible for Tice. One more time. There's the Jade Golem. The Jade Idol. And there's another... Oh, and this one's being shuffled, of course. Got to play
And
that
this is one of the craziest series I think I've ever seen. Talk about coming down to the wire.
Is there a smart way that Tice can use Doomsayer here? So that it sets up for a Tyrion, which could be top decked next turn?
Can you tear him and then Doomsayer?
Well, this is what I'm thinking. Tower him, trade away the Auctioneer to prevent the endless
Yeah, like Hero
nightmare.
Power, tear him, Doomsayer.
Right.
That's probably it.
To trade away the... use the Kodo to get rid of the 4/4. And then it should take too much for Legolas to be able to trade into the Stegodon and also the Doomsayer. And I'm thinking that might just be Tice's best bet now, to hope that his next draw is Tyrion and try and get some tempo back that way. Okay, he's done it slightly differently. This actually makes more sense. It keeps the Stegodon alive too.
Yeah.
Oh, he's actually... Okay, he's not played the Doomsayer. Sure, okay.
That's fine too. You, I guess, don't want your board to die, but you know that crazy stuff's coming out from the Jade Idols this turn. You just have to. I think I still would have liked to see Doomsayer here. But Consecration still in deck. Equality Consecration is still a huge threat.
The problem is that
You
combination...
need time.
That combination can't be played with Tyrion. That's the problem. Oh boy. Hero Power gonna make short work of that Stegodon. Or does Legolas decide he needs to play some Jade Idols right now? Might make more sense for him to do that. And we could get to the point where Brazil can only play one Jade Idol a turn, and then Tyrion gets picked up. Obviously, it takes a couple hits to kill that, and then Tyrion's Ashbringer can do some work. But I've got to admit, as time goes on, it's looking worse and worse for Team Netherlands.
I think you... Oh, man. I mean, if Equality Consecration comes out here, it's punish.
Ah, there's Tyrion. If he played the Doomsayer last turn.
It's not enough.
If he played the Doomsayer last turn, this would have come onto an empty board.
Okay, so Equality, and you kill the Primordial Drake in the 13-13, and then you play Tyrion.
Okay.
And then the 12-12 dies to Tyrion anyway.
Okay, that's not
it
so
has
bad.
to be Equality Tyrion. But then any Consecration you pick up is just a dead draw.
I think there's a second Equality still in the deck. I believe that this is Tice's first one. Well, there you go. Step 1, play the Equality. Step 2, play Tyrion.
Put your faith in the light.
Obviously, Gluttonous Ooze is there and ready to deal with the Ashbringer. If Tice has a surprise N'Zoth, then maybe he has a chance.
Man.
If his next 2 draws are Stonehill Defender into Tyrion into N'Zoth, that's maybe still too slow.
I think it's all over. The Gluttonous Ooze cut down the Ashbringer, and then the Jade Idol for a 14-14 here.
There's the first Consecration drawn by Tice.
I mean, Doomsayer can come down and you can try to soak up 14 damage.
Yeah, as you said, Tice has got time.
And then you hope that you draw.
If the next draws an Equality, then that buys him a little bit more time.
The last 2 cards in Legolas's deck, are they both just Jade Idols? I honestly lost count of.
I feel like
times
we've
to
only
shuffle.
seen one Earthen Scales.
Okay, so potentially Earth and Scales Jade Idol. Like, you could be right.
It's either Earthen Scales Jade Idol or double Jade Idol. It's one of those 2 combinations. Hopefully someone on Team Brazil has been keeping track.
I wonder.
A lot on the line for these guys. I mean, this is it. The winner of this game moves on to the top 8 of the Hearthstone Global Games, and the loser is done.
Yeah, and top 8 is an accolade that both of these teams are really going to want. It's a team the Netherlands may, it's something that the Netherlands may feel like they can't afford to lose out on.
But it's also something that Brazil needs. I mean, most of their competitive experience has been limited to the Copa America tournaments.
Yeah. If he shuffles this, I think we can get a pretty good idea that it's Earthen Scales.
But if he plays this and there's no Jade Idol left, yeah, it's Earthen Scales. Okay. You just can't take the risk of second equality consecration by playing it, not having additional resources.
So the only out for Tice here is if he draws a quality now and can play a quality Consecration Doomsayer, and then draws something good.
Like an Azoth.
Yeah.
Or Stonehill.
It's Tarim.
Tarim. Yeah. Nope.
Oh, hang on a sec. That buys him an extra turn though, doesn't it?
I mean, you can Doomsayer and Forbidden Healing for 16.
I think you just Forbidden Healing though. If you Forbidden Healing now, you put yourself back on 27. You're not dead. And then if you then draw the Equality, you can then Equality Consecration into something else. Your only win condition is if you can Equality Consecration Doomsayer. So I like this. Spikeweed Steed buys Tice another turn.
Yeah.
Steed on the Doomsayer.
No, you can Steed the dude in Doomsayer.
Yeah, that's right. It's better. Buys him another turn so that, again, if his next draw is Equality, then Equality, Consecration, Doomsayer, into whatever else. But with only 5 cards left in the deck, given that one of them is an Equality, and I think one of them is still a Consecration.
You can remove, but you need to win somehow.
Yeah.
And Legolas is never fatiguing.
No. Doomsayer does go off here, actually. So any big minion that Tice gets now could be the Stonehill Defender turn. Though he'd have to draw the exact right card. That's just not what you want if you're Tice. He's trying so hard. He's trying to pull through and win this game. He needs to do it for his team, for his country, and for all of his fans.
After that last game.
Yeah.
With Tyler pulling through in such a clutch moment.
There are so many Tice fans watching the Hearthstone Global Games from back home right now. I know you guys are there. I know you guys want to see your favorite streamer get through and win this. After what I've seen today, I really want to see him get through too. That is another turn bought by the Outdoor Peacekeeper.
One more turn. Are there Stonehill Defenders in this freaking deck?
Well, there's 3 cards left, and I think one of them is an Equality, so...
It could be 2 Stonehill Defenders in the bottom 2 cards. It really could be.
Would 2 more Terrams be enough? Maybe. Consecration, Equality Consecration into Stonehill Terrarium. They're only playing 1 Jade Golem a turn, and you're turning them into 3/3s each turn. There's a Stonehill Defender!
About time. Oh. No!
Oh dear. So, it's the Mogoshan Warden, right? Because you can play that and also fit in a hero power. There's no reason to pick Ancient of Blossoms instead. Yeah.
Reporting for duty.
Actually, this board is starting to stick.
I mean, it's annoying.
Brazil can only get through the Stonehill Defender or the Mogoshan Warden.
Then you go through the Warden.
If there's an Equality, then Tice is actually still building up a board, and there should be an Equality. The last 2 cards should be Equality, Stonehill Defender.
But there should also be an Earthen Scales left for Legolas that we think.
For Legolas, yeah.
Yeah. And that could be
if he ever trusts
20
it,
health.
I'm almost out of cards.
That is the second Stonehill.
Literally in the bottom 3 cards of the deck.
But Tice wanted Equality.
Oh, that's so unlucky.
Tice wanted Equality this turn, so he could clear the board.
Tarim is still great. There's Tarim.
All right.
Tarim's fantastic.
What is going on? Does he just play it now? I guess, yeah, of course you do. You've got 3 taunts on the board now. One of them eats up 2 of these guys under hero power. If only Tice could fit in a hero power too.
Ungoro belongs
Legolas's reaction to that.
I don't blame him. Not even a little bit.
You just gotta push Tice. The thing is, Legolas has played this very smart. He has a spare Jade Idol in his hand, which means even the turn he has to shuffle, he's still going to be able to develop an extra Jade go.
Yeah.
must move quickly.
This is an incredibly well-played game from both players here. The fact that Tice even has a chance is just incredible.
It's more than a chance. He's
Almost out of cards.
ahead. Very ahead.
Yeah? Yeah, there's going to be 3 minions alive at least for Tice by the end of this turn. He's got double consecration.
Sure, there's an Earth and Scales left.
Oh no, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. Deck Director, where you at? So, you can take 6 off board. There's 4 from Consecration in hand. That's 13 with the 9 on board.
Uh-huh. Tice is
The
almost
last
there.
card from Tice is probably a quality.
Yeah.
So if this board goes, Brazil
wins.
will win.
Oh, Brazil will win.
If they can clear this board.
All right, sure.
If if they have Earth and Scales and they
Oh yeah,
pick
I
it
think
up.
that scales, sure. Because the quality consecration just clears Legolas's board, leaves Tice with.
So you can't shuffle this because you need Earth and Scales if it's your last card. Yeah, there's quality consecration.
I'm glad we were able to track that.
Yeah. I was like, there's Stonehill Defenders. You're like, there's equalities. Wait,
That's
that's
just lethal.
just lethal.
Okay.
Oh God.
What an incredible series! So many unfavored matchups for the Netherlands, but they were able to take it away. And Cora, I know that's your team out,
God.
but you've got to be happy about this result after what we just saw.
I mean, I'm incredibly happy for the Netherlands there. They deserve this just as much as anybody else, but man, you gotta feel bad for Brazil after this one. They took a beating in the last 2 games.